Hi, Professor. So you said today that we would be talking about the area of free movement.
Hi James, yes that's right. So what can you tell me about free movement?
Well, I guess you could say it is the fundamental principle behind the EU internal market.
Okay, and what is the EU internal market?
It's the geographic area in which the four factors of production are allowed to circulate freely.
Very good. And what are the four factors of production?
The four factors of production, also referred to as the four freedoms, refer to the areas of goods, workers, services, and capital.
Very good, James. So does this mean that any good or service can circulate freely throughout the EU?
In principle, yes, but of course there are very few absolutes in any area.
Does that mean that restrictions can be imposed?
Yes, of course. For example, member states can impose restrictions when they are necessary to preserve public interest imperatives.
And who decides what amounts to a public order imperative?
The Court of Justice by interpreting Article 36 of the TFEU.
And what kind of interpretation does it give to the notion?
A restrictive one, of course.
Why, of course.
Well, because the court as an EU institution wants to promote the aims of the European Union, and free movement and the creation of the internal market is a central aim of the organisation.
In other words, it gives a dynamic interpretation to the notion of free movement.
I think so.
Too dynamic?
It's hard to say whether it is too dynamic, but certainly the court has introduced regulatory competition into the internal market.
And who does not like that?
The member states that are losing the competition, of course.
And why are they losing?
Because the regulatory standards they employ place an excessively high regulatory compliance burden on their companies when compared to other member states.
Okay, and why do they do that?
Because their regulatory structure reflects their vision of society.
Okay, very good, James.